On the edge of real and cyberspace, there's one place you can go, and you found it. Welcome to the Nightwise.com video blog, where today I am going to show you a little bit about Ubuntu 18.04. I've been experimenting a little bit the last couple of days with my old iMac and some old computers, taking a new and fresh look at Ubuntu. I've been away from the Ubuntu desktop for a while because I had other obligations like work and stuff. So I reformatted my Dell XPS13 into Windows. Now, because of some European governmental laws, I can't really use that system anymore because it doesn't support full disk encryption. I don't have the right Windows license for that, and I need that in order to use confidential data for my clients. So what do? Well, you have to, for legality's sake, get rid of Windows 10 Home Edition, and there's a new 18.04 distribution coming out, so why not install it on your Dell XPS 13? And that's what I did here today. I have the 2016 version of the Dell XPS 13, the first one that came with Ubuntu, and I have recently reinstalled 18.04. The version that I'm taking is the daily build, but since there is an absolute feature freeze since April 16th, this is the version that will probably hit the ISOs come the end of April. So I decided to go for the install here on the Dell XPS 13. It's an i5. Let me just see here that you can see the settings, that you know what specs we're running. So here you got it. It's an 8GB i5 5200 CPU, 2.2 gigahertz, sporting a 265GB SSD. Fantastic little computer, and I was incredibly surprised to see that Ubuntu 18.04 was so mature. I have been running 16.04, and I gotta say the first versions of 16.04 on the Dell XPS 13, even if they shipped OEM with these things, didn't really work out of the box, and I had quite a bit of tweaking and stuff to do before I got it working. But that all seems to be working now, and here you have it, Dell XPS 13 running Ubuntu 18.04. I went for the absolute minimal install, which is an option in 18.04, which only gives you a web browser, the terminal, and all the hardware drivers that you need, which for me was fine. No media player, no office software. I could do that afterwards, and I could configure my own system just the way I wanted it. I have always been annoyed with the fact that I had applications like Rhythmbox and Shotwell and God knows what that I didn't really use, eating up disk space. Uninstalling them took a lot of time, and I wish there was another way, but now there is. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you through the applications that I use the most and that I have reinstalled or installed just after I did the 18.04 install. Now, taking a look at 18.04, you immediately see that this baby is GNOME. It looks a little bit like Unity, but if I would go to the settings menu, and the launcher is no longer at the top here, but at the bottom, or I can just launch it by hitting the super key, and I would just start typing settings. I can actually tweak that dock to be wherever I want it to be, even on the bottom, giving it a nice Mac OS X look. The only downside to that is that this launcher button, which gives you an overview of all the applications that you've installed, doesn't really move. It is not something that you can move to the other side, so it just kind of stays right there. But that is kind of the only thing that annoys me. For the rest, it is very well done. Now, for the Unity lovers' sake, I'm going to leave it here on the left-hand side, and I'll go through the applications that I've installed and that I use every day. So the world begins with the terminal. I have currently two terminals open. One is installing my RetroPie, and one is an open SSH session that I have to one of my servers. I'll get back to this because I do use quite a few commands in the terminal, but of course my browser is the most important application right after my terminal and my file. So my terminal, you can also launch it with Control-Alt-T to launch a new window, is right up there. File Manager is of course right next to it. They did a little bit of a makeover on the File Manager. You can see it right here. Not a lot of files there yet. I still need to, put something on the hard drive. And then there of course are my browsers. I try to use Firefox as much as possible. With the whole Facebook thing, I've really started to think about privacy and what that means to me, and whether or not it would be better to use an open source browser instead of a proprietary one, so hence Firefox. Should I still need the Google Plex verse or the Google verse, I still have Chromium web browser available, which is, like Google Chrome, but then the open source version offering you all the functionalities of Google Chrome, and you can also run all the add-ins that you want to use. For privacy's sake, I also use the Tor browser, which allows me to kind of surf anonymously should I want to. And as you can see, I haven't run it yet. It's still downloading its first version. I have a pretty good Wi-Fi connection here, so that's always nice to see. Then there's of course a little bit of social media, and I have found Corebird to be a fantastic little Twitter application. There you see the picture that I just posted about my Dell XPS13. Gives you the ability to get replies, to take a look at conversations. Let me just, do a live reply to Kevin here. You're on my video blog, dude. And it's actually quite a cool little application. It's light. It gives you everything that you need to do, handle your tweets, your direct messages, and whatever you want. I really kind of like that one. And then there is, of course, the text editor. Now, I have installed LibreOffice Suite on this laptop, but I hardly use it. The things I do the most here are basically text editing. And a great editor, which is not available in the repository, is, of course, Atom. Atom is great if you're a programmer, but it's also great if you want a distraction-free interface to, do some typing or handle config files. I've found Atom to be far superior to applications like Gedit and what have you. Next up on the list, if we're talking about having a little bit of focus, is Focuswriter, which is an ideal application if you want to blog. Tor browser's kind of done. Now, Focuswriter gives you the ability to write without having any distractions whatsoever, which really helps when you're trying to write an article. By just hovering your mouse over to the top, you can quit it and you go right back to your desktop, which of course has another wallpaper. That's a little secret I'll show you. That's an application called Variety. Variety lets you scroll through new wallpapers every so and so 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Here it's every 5 minutes. Let's just put that to 15. And it immediately fetches online wallpapers and puts them on your background. Now, I have unsubscribed from all the preferences that are kind of recommended by Variety, and I've gone for 3 great Reddits that offer wallpapers like Wallpapers, Cyberpunk, and Starship Porn. Great application, keeps your desktop nice and fresh, does automatic refreshes, and if you don't like the desktop, you can just manually click next, and you'll go to the next one and the next one. After Focuswriter, we go to a little bit of music, and I really like Clementine, and I like Clementine for one thing. Clementine gives you the ability to stream music from all kinds of locations, even your Google Drive or your Dropbox, your OneDrive. You can do podcasts, whatever you want to, but what I really like is that you have a connection to Soma FM, which offers you quite a few streams. And there is this great stream called Mission Control, let me see if I can find it, which is ambient music mixed with the sound tapes from NASA missions. So it's really cool, it's really chilly. I suggest you just try it out. I'm not going to play it for you just yet. Google might go insane. But that's a great background music for me, really geeky. Then there is VLC, which of course is the Swiss butter knife to play about everything that has a video extension, and GPodder, which I use to download my podcasts. Then I have two applications that I'm using right now. One of them is Simple Screen Recorder, which lets you record screen captures and audio in a very decent quality. And this application called GUVC View. This is basically just a live window of your webcam, as you're seeing, right here. And you can just pop that into your screen, giving you a nice overlay like we are doing right now. These two, really nice to use. And of course, before I forget, if I do some audio recording, I always do that with Audacity, great audio recorder. I love to manage my ebooks, so I have Calibre on here. I have quite a extensive ebook library on my NAS, and I regularly copy it over to my laptop, so I just have my books with me. And you can also turn Calibre into a web server. So you can, surf to it with your Kindle or your iPad and just, download the books straight to your e-reader or your tablet. For transferring files, a good FTP and SFTP server, of course, is FileZilla, which, everybody kind of uses, and I like it a lot. For downloads, if I need to download a distribution or God knows what, Transmission is my place to go to. It's a very simple torrent client. If I want to do some editing of pictures that I took with my camera, I use Digicam, which is quite an advanced photo editor. There is, of course, also the GIMP, but I have found the GIMP to be a little bit above what I need out of it, so Digicam is one of the apps that I use on a regular basis. There's one chat app not installed here. Of course, I have Telegram. There is, of course, the Nightwise.com chat room on Telegram, where you can hang out and talk to all the Nightwise.com fans. Really like Telegram. And I'm also going to have to install the Signal desktop client, which allows me to use that. In the beginning, I also talked to you guys about some command line applications, because one of the things that you haven't seen yet is my mail and stuff. Well, basically, I do all of these in the command line. Right now, I am SSH'd into my Raspberry Pi in my network, which is running all of these applications in the background for demonstration use. So this is my IRC client. This is IRSSI, which is a great command line IRC client. See if we can go to the next window. This is Alpine, my email client. I use it to read my Gmail and answer my emails on Gmail via the command line. Then I have, I gotta check here what the name again is, Twitch. Twitch is a command line Twitter client, which I have set on a watch command. So every 10 seconds, this list with my latest tweets gets refreshed, and I can look at my tweets via the command line, or update my Twitter via the command line also, should I want to, or if I'm not using Corebird. Let me see, what else is there? This is just a terminal window that I have open. This is WordRiner. This is a command line text editor, which still has, quite a few tricks up its sleeve, which is a great little program to just simply edit text and to get little pieces of text written without any distractions. Then I have, let me see, which is the next window. Oops, kind of stuck here. Oops, I seem to have lost the connection. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I have Ranger, which is a file manager from the command line, and Ranger can help you navigate through whatever you want to navigate through and take a look at whatever you want to take a look at. For example, these are all of the podcasts that I've downloaded on my server, and I can just quickly go through this and take a look at what I want to do. I can copy, I can paste, I can do whatever I would like to, and that's also a great little terminal application that I like to use. Then there is RTV, or Reddit via the command line. I love my dose of Reddit You can go to any Reddit, like for example Command Line, which is a subreddit, and it will get you will show you all of the posts that there are, all of the comments that are listed, and whatever you want to take a look at. For I'm not really having a great bandwidth here, but so you can see this is the post, these are the comments. And I really love taking a look at Reddit this way because it doesn't really have a lot of distractions, and I can still read all of the favorite Reddits that I want, post and comment. I think we're back to RSSI. Did I forget one? Yes, I did. Oh, here it is. Newsboider, which is my RSS reader, which I use to read RSS articles. Now, it's great for just skimming the headlines, because if you really want to open up an article, you need to do so in a text-based browser, which is not always, convenient. But most of the streams that are there just kind of let you wander around and read the article without a lot of distractions. And that's actually it. The only thing I still have up there is TeamViewer to remote control some of my systems, and that's it. A cool little install on Ubuntu 18.04 and my list of applications that I use to let tech work for me. I'm very curious as to what your first impressions are with Ubuntu 18.04 and what your applications are that you've installed on it. Please, comments below, and we'll see what you find, and perhaps we'll learn something from each other. Until next time, this is Nightwise, signing off. Goodbye.